Hi, we're back.
We're back.
We're going to talk about, Rocky, Kim. We're going to talk about the big search. How does that go, Rocky?
So the big search. So now we've done the intake. Guess what? It's time to get out there and find exactly what you wrote in your 80% list. We're going to stick to that as much as possible. But remember, when we're out here, you're going to see things that you didn't really realize that you wanted, or some things that you realize you're like, I can live without that.
Yeah, and it's really, the 80% thing is really important, which is why we do this intake, because it's really easy sometimes to get attracted by pretty shiny things, isn't it, Rocky?
It is.
We all do. But if it's not in your 80% house, we're probably going to suggest off the list, right?
Because we're running after everything, and it just makes the process a lot more stressful for not only us, but for you as well, because you're just chasing after things you're not going to buy.
Right, or that you really don't fit your needs.
Yes, exactly.
And we are going to remind you about the size, location, condition, pick two aspect. We're going to
focus on those.
Yeah, focus on those two, and make sure you're pre-approved. We're also going to do that too before we write anything up. So probably going to do that before we start searching.
Exactly. And one of the things I like to do when the search process starts, as much as possible, because this market moves pretty quickly sometimes, is I like to get out there and preview the homes
that's really
that
good
my
idea.
clients send before we actually get you out there. And number one, it just helps me to eliminate things that you probably just don't even need to see. I think all of us on the team are pretty experienced enough where we can walk into a house right now and in 10 seconds we're like,
yep,
this is
gonna work or it's not gonna.
This is the dump. We can see that it's gonna take $100,000 to remodel or get it to where it needs to be, or the layout's just wonky. So we're pretty good at like kind of figuring that out, weeding out the bad houses before we waste your time in the evening or on weekends getting out there. Yeah,
and it also makes the process less stressful for you if we can go out there and preview, and hopefully shortens our timeline.
Hopefully, because the search is like the biggest piece of time that takes to get into a home. So.
Yeah, and our goal is to have it be like 2 weeks or
2 weeks or less.
Or less. Maybe 2 months if, worst case. But we try and avoid those 6-month searches. That's if you're on house number 5 and you're like, looking for a needle in a haystack. But that's not most y'all. That's a handful of people.
I don't have any of those yet.
I've had a couple, but not that many.
So after we've located the home, a lot of people, I think that like that movie American Beauty where that real estate agent's in there, she's like, and here's the pool over here. And look at this fantastic. I don't do that.
We're not going to do that, no.
I don't do that. The way it is, I like you to go in the house, take a look at it, get the feel for it, and kind of I'm not buying this.
You're buying it, right.
So I want you to feel comfortable in the house and you to like have that guttural reaction of either I love this or I hate this, without me like telling you, oh, you need to enjoy this piece or you need to like this over here.
Yeah. Now,
this is fantastic.
If there's something weird in the house that we notice, we're going to point it out.
Yeah.
If there's like a weird stain, growing on the ceiling that you might miss, we might point that out.
That big crack in the foundation going all the way across.
We're going to point that out too.
And sometimes that little crack crushes your dreams.
But that's what the inspection is for, which, we'll talk about after we talk about buying the house. And Rocky, do you want to talk a little bit about what it's like to be on tour with you, like how your day goes? And
oh yeah, so there's a couple different ways to tour. The more traditional way that I like is that we collect houses all through the week and I preview them all through the week and we select the best ones together, and those ones we choose to go on a tour, preferably on like Saturday or Sunday. So that's how I would like, in a perfect world, we do a tour. Typically though, we're like running after stuff on the weeknights as soon as it comes out on the market, trying to be the first one in the door to take a look at it. And even in those cases, I still try and preview when time permits, but typically we'll meet at a house. I'll unlock the door and I'll let you in, and I want you to walk around and get a feel for what you like about the house. And then we talk about the pros and cons of the neighborhood. We talk about, the age of the house, the condition, what some maintenance things might come up in your ownership. And then we decide on whether or not this is the house for you or not. Usually we go to the second house or a third house so that you can, compare them and see which one's really going to be a good fit for you.
Right. But, I know Roy likes to say that even if you fall in love with your first house, we want you to at least see 2 or 3 more just to make sure that first house is the right house.
And people do fall in love with the first
That's
house.
true. It does happen.
Quite often, but then they're scared because they're like, "Am I just? Is this what
Is this
normally
crazy?
happens? Does this happen?" And I'm like, "It does happen from time to time."
We love it when that happens.
Yes, we do.
So the bottom line is you're going to be hanging out with one of our awesome team members like Rocky or me or Roy or Remington or Juniper or Chavi or whoever. And you're going to go have a great time looking at houses. We're going to have a lot of fun. You're probably going to wind up being a really good friend of ours by the time
More
you're
often
done.
than not.
More
That's
often
what
than
happens.
not, because that's like how we roll at Team Diva. And then we're going to find that 80% house and make an offer.
And guess what? It's actually be 100% house once you're at that stage.
Right, once you're at that stage, you're like, I don't care, this is my 100% house. So now that you've won that 80, or as Rocky says, soon to be 100% house, we're going to talk about in the next video how to win that house by crafting the perfect offer.
And after that, Roy and I will be teaching you what happens once you're in contract.
So stay tuned.
Yes, see you soon.
Bye.